Hello everyone, welcome back to Classic Comics. DC has some of the most iconic villains in popular culture. Villains like the Joker, Lex Luthor, Brainiac, and the Riddler are recognized all over the world. Marvel also has their share of great villains, and I've often wondered, if some of these villains were DC characters instead of Marvel, what heroes would they be fighting against? And how would their origins be different? I decided to create a rogues gallery composed of Marvel villains for different DC heroes, starting with Batman. I began by looking at Batman's villains to determine what types of villains compose his own rogues gallery. After taking a look, I determined that most of his villains fit into one of the following categories. Lunatics. People with bizarre obsessions and/or psychopaths. Villains like the Joker, Victor Zsasz, a ventriloquist, and Scarecrow fit into this category. Freaks. People with bizarre appearances or deformities. This includes Killer Croc, Clayface, Man-Bat, and Two-Face. Evil masterminds. This includes Ra's al Ghul, Hugo Strange, the Riddler, and Cobra. Combat experts. Bane, Deathstroke, KG Beast, and Black Spider. Femme fatales. Catwoman, Poison Ivy, Nocturna, and Talia. And finally, mooks. That's criminals with absurd gimmicks or motifs. This includes Hype Man, Signal Man, Condiment King, or Polka Dot Man. I've worked to create a list that covers each of the different categories I mentioned here. Now, narrowing this list down to 5 wasn't easy. Between Spider-Man, Daredevil, and Captain America alone, there are dozens of villains that would make good opponents for Batman, not to mention the rest of the Marvel Universe. So it took a while to narrow it down, but here are my top 5 best Marvel villains for Batman. Number 5, Craven the Hunter. The world's greatest hunter, Sergei Kravinoff, grew bored of hunting wild game and decided to seek a new challenge by hunting Spider-Man. In the DCU, his origin would be the same, except that he would come to Gotham to hunt the ultimate quarry, the Dark Knight, instead of Spider-Man. Craven would become one of Batman's most relentless enemies. This would lead to a DC version of Craven's Last Hunt, with Craven burying Batman and impersonating him. Having proved himself superior to Batman, the story would end with Craven taking his own life. But he would later be revived with the Lazarus Pit by Ra's al Ghul. Ra's would resurrect Craven and use him as a pawn in a new scheme against the Dark Knight. But Craven would turn against Ra's and help Batman defeat the plot and then strike out on his own. But he would surely return later to face the Dark Knight again. Number 4, the Kingpin. A criminal genius, Wilson Fisk also possesses near superhuman levels of strength. This combination allowed him to climb to the top of the New York underworld, bringing him into conflict with heroes like Spider-Man and Daredevil. In the DCU, Kingpin would attempt to establish himself in Gotham in the wake of Batman defeating the mob families that controlled Gotham City early in his career, taking the shattered gangs and attempting to mold them into a new, more powerful force. Batman would defeat the Kingpin, but he would return years later determined to make himself the ruler of Gotham's underworld. His combination of intelligence, wealth, and influence would make him a rival that Batman can never seem to quite defeat, as Fisk manages to avoid having any actual crimes pinned on him. He becomes obsessed with ridding himself of Batman, convinced that Gotham isn't big enough for both of them. Eventually, he would even run for mayor of Gotham City. Number 3, Morpheus. Robert Markham developed a rare viral infection and was prescribed an untested experimental drug. The drug caused a mutation, giving Markham a monstrous appearance as well as super strength and the ability to project beams of dark energy. Now unable to sleep or dream, Markham went insane. Naming himself Morpheus after the Greek god of dreams, he hunted down Dr. Alron, the man who prescribed the drug. Alron was also the father of Marlene Alron, who was the love interest of Moon Knight, aka Mark Spector. Moon Knight defeated him, but Morpheus mutated further, becoming more powerful, and he returned. Now he could even reach into your mind and manifest your own nightmares to terrify you. With his mix of superpowers, freakish appearance, and madness, Morpheus has the makings of a classic Batman villain. Imagine a villain who's a cross between Nosferatu and Freddy Krueger. In the DCU, he would be committed to Arkham after being mutated by the drug and eventually escape. He would wage a campaign of fear in Gotham, terrorizing its citizens with their own nightmares until being defeated by Batman and returned to Arkham. But it would only be a matter of time before Morpheus escaped from Arkham to terrorize Gotham City once again. Number 2. Taskmaster. Tony Masters developed the power of photographic reflexes as a child, and when he reached adulthood, he decided to profit from it by becoming a criminal. Preferring to train others and let them take all the risks, he established a training academy for criminal henchmen. Able to copy any physical actions he sees, he is arguably the most dangerous combatant on Earth, having learned the fighting styles of Captain America, Daredevil, Iron Fist, and others. In the DCU, Taskmaster would establish a training academy in Gotham to hire all the trained goons for Gotham's various gangs and crime lords. Batman would stumble across Taskmaster's operation and shut it down, but Taskmaster would slip away. Taskmaster would return again later, and each time his encounters with Batman would push the Dark Knight to his absolute limits as a fighter. After finally being beaten and captured and sent to prison, Taskmaster would receive an offer from Amanda Waller to join the Suicide Squad. Number 1. The Green Goblin. Norman Osborn was exposed to an experimental serum which enhanced his physical abilities, but also drove him insane. He clashed with Spider-Man repeatedly over the years, becoming one of the Wallcrawler's most notorious foes. In the DCU, Oscorp would be a competitor with Wayne Industries. After taking the serum, he would become paranoid, convinced that Wayne is plotting to destroy him. Taking on the guise of the Green Goblin, he would begin a campaign of sabotage and terrorism against Wayne Industries. First destroying property, then escalating to attacking Wayne Industry employees, Bruce Wayne's friends, and eventually even trying to kill Bruce Wayne himself. As Batman, Bruce Wayne would try to uncover who the mysterious attacker is, eventually learning that the Green Goblin is Osborn. Osborn would be found legally insane and committed to Arkham, but would eventually return to destroy not just Batman, but also Bruce Wayne, convinced that the two of them are working together against him. His combination of super strength, evil genius, madness, and corporate resources give the Green Goblin the potential to become one of Batman's greatest arch-villains. Let me know what you thought of this list, and let me know what villains you would have included down in the comments. Also, please like this video and sub to the channel, and check out some of my other videos while you're here, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching.